Okay, we are right here looking at graphing linear functions. We're going to make sure your equation is solved for y. That's step one. You're going to identify your y-intercepts and your slope, always with your x values. You're going to plot your y-intercept on your graph, and you're going to use slot to plot additional points. Okay, rise is your numerator and run is your denominator. Things to remember: if your slope is a whole number, then put a 1 over it. Put it over a 1 to make it a fraction. If your slope is negative, you will move up and left or down and right. If your slope is positive, you will move up and right or down and left. A zero slope is horizontal, and an undefined slope is a vertical line that goes through the x-axis. So we're going to do this page together, and then your homework is going to be just like this. Please put your phones away so I do not have to take them. Okay. Let's look at this first one right here. What is my slope for this one? Y equals 1/2 x minus 3. 1/2 is my slope. What is my y-intercept or my b? So, first, our equation is solved for y. We identified our y-intercept and our slope. Step 3 is to plot your y-intercept. So I'm going to go to the y-axis. Is the y-axis up and down or right or left? Up and down. So I'm going to go to the origin, 0, 0. And I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to make my first point right here. From this point, I'm going to follow my slope. It's a positive 1, so what do I do? Up 1, and then over 2, and then what do I do next? I can keep going, right? Up 1, over 2, up 1, over 2. Okay? Technically, you only need 2 points to make a line. But if you want to make it more accurate, or you're trying to figure out something on a table, you can keep going. We draw our line, and we're done. That's it. Okay, let's look at the next one. Going to try to take it nice and slow because graphing, this is really important. We're going to be graphing much more complicated stuff as time goes on, so you really want to get this stuff. What's the slope of y equals negative 3x plus 1? Negative 3, and we like to put it over 1 so we know what to do. What is the y-intercept? What do I do first with my graph? Start at 1 on the y-axis. Excuse me. Start at 1 on the y-axis. And then what do I do next? Which way over? Nope, you go right. It's a negative 3, but a positive 1. You could also do it the reverse way. You could go up 1, 2, 3 over negative 1. It'll still give you the same thing because negative 3 over 1, that's the same thing, right, as positive 3 over negative 1. But they're not both negative because a negative divided by a negative is a good. Okay, once you're done with these, go ahead and flip it over. Okay. What is the slope of y equals 4? Okay, let's go back. Let's go back. We're going to look under things to remember. A zero slope is a horizontal line, and an undefined slope is a vertical line. Okay. So let's think about what these are. Y equals 4. Where's 4? Am I going to go to the right 4 or up 4? Up 4 because it says y equals 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So my line looks like this. What's that slope? Undefined. Try again. Undefined. Undefined is impossible to walk. So what would be this? How far do I have to pick up my foot to walk that? Am I picking up my feet? So that's 0, so that's the slope. So, Abby, if I'm walking along this, I don't have to pick up my feet at all. It has a 0 slope. Like, this is the slope you want to do on your bike, right? Because there's no incline. Or you want to run along a flat. Sometimes with a bike, you want a negative slope, right? You want to go down. But when you're running, because I don't know about you, but my shins hurt when I run. If I'm going down, I want to run at a flat surface. Where is the y-intercept? Where does it cross the y-axis, guys? I do.
Wait, so how is 0? Because you put the line on 4.
Right, but if I'm walking along that line, I don't have to pick up my feet.
I don't get the walking down.
Okay.
So let's just cut this out.
So, see this? Does this increase or decrease at all, or does it stay the same all the way across? Doesn't mean that has a 0 slope.
It's called the plane.
So no matter what number it is. What about if it's this way?
That's different.
That's
We'll do
right.
Okay. All right. So, I need you guys to be quiet. When I'm explaining a question to somebody else, you should probably be quiet. If you understand what the answer is, that doesn't mean everybody at your table does and you're being disruptive. Okay. Where does this line cross the y-axis at? Where does it cross the y-axis? This is the y. What is this point right here? I don't know. Okay. All right. So, let's graph this first. What is the x-axis? X-axis goes right or left or up or down? Right or left. And it's -2, so I'm going to go to the left 2. And that's my line. You did, Christian. That was great. So, what's the slope of this line? Undefined, because you can't walk up it. Does it ever cross the y-axis? No. So there is none. There is no y-intercept. Don't put 0, because you could cross the y-axis at 0, right? That's why we want to put none. Okay, we're going to do one story problem. I know, everybody, oh, it's so easy. Just wait. Just wait. Okay, ready? All right. This is not focusing great. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. Brian is planting flowers in the garden. He has already planted 1 flower and plans to plant 3 flowers in an hour. Write an equation to represent this problem. Okay, remember the y value is the initial where you start. So that's the y. So b is 1. Okay, so that would make m what? 3. Right? And so the equation is going to be y equals, what's m? 3x plus 1. Okay, so now I'm going to go over here and graph it. What point do I start at? 1. Then I do up 3 over 1, right? The slope is 3 over 1, so I go 1, 2, 3 to the right 1, right 1. Or I could go down 1, 2, 3 to the left 1. 1, 2, 3 to the left 1. That's my line. Okay, does the entire graph make sense?
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question then, more specific. Miss Murphy speaking. Sure. Yep, bye. Okay, so let me ask you this question. This is negative, right? This point right here saying in -1 hour, he planted -2 flowers. Does that make sense? No. So it only makes sense in quadrant 1. We call these 1, 2, 3, and 4. It only makes sense in quadrant 1. So we're going to say only in quadrant 1. Okay, that was it for the notes, guys. You have the rest of the hour to do your homework. I'm going to make sure you get this last one, and I'm going to leave it up here. I know it's not showing up right now, but it's going to connect in just a second. I'm going to leave this up, but then I'm going to pass out your homework.